What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Realistic Summer Career Mode. This is episode number 51, and today we are returning with the January window opening with Inter Milan, where you see our fixtures: Spezia at home, Torino away, Bologna in the Cup. That is a must-win game against the side we drew with this season, Sassuolo and Salernitana as well. And on the back of selling 8 of our players for £155.5 million, Felipe back to Spain, he's gone to Valencia. We also sold Iker Muniain, he's also gone back to Spain, now to join Atletico Madrid under Simeone as well. Radu, the long-serving Romanian goalkeeper at Inter Milan, I've sold him as well. He's gone to RB Leipzig in the Bundesliga. We also sold Yannick Ferreira Carrasco to my old team, Manchester City, for £40 million. They're top of the Premier League right now, and that just rubs salt into the wounds for me, considering how poorly I've started here with Inter. Chong has gone to Brighton, he's back in the Premier League as well. Malles went to Deportivo Alaves, 71 rated. I ain't got the time to develop this guy, man. I've got to get to work now, so he's gone to Alaves. And also as well, Luis Alberto off to Chelsea for, I think it was 32.5 mil, I agreed as well. And Lazaro is also going to the Premier League. He's off to Everton as well. I would say quite realistic destinations there. You know, Muniain and Felipe going back to Spain, Lazaro and Chong going back to England as well. I thought it was quite realistic, to be fair. Even so, as you take a look at the squad then, this is it. We've got $250 million to work with, but goodness gracious, after selling 8 players, our squad is now looking very thin indeed. We've got 5 goalkeepers. We've got a player that's down for the season with an ACL. We've still got several players in their 30, and Handanovic still here at 40 years old as well, who submitted a transfer request as well. This is a mess, man. This is an absolute mess, and this is what I wanted, man. This is what I wanted. I'll be totally honest, I joined Man City, I thought it would be a really fun season, and it was, but the squad was still good enough to win a treble. And the fact I only won 1 Premier League title, it was disappointing from yours truly. I'll be honest, I should have won a domestic treble with ease, especially with no European games to play. This is a bit different. Yeah, there's some great players here. 89 rated Mason Mount, but, you know, he's done for the season. Pau Torres in his prime, yes, but I might have shift him on in January for the realism. And yes, you've got Moyes leading the line, but it's still an old team, and it needs a rebuild. There's no doubt about that. So as we get to work straight away in this January window, well, there's no doubt about it. We're playing in Europe this season. We need more bodies. We need more quality in terms of squad depth. And most importantly, we need to get younger, we need to get more athletic, and we need more defenders. I've only got 3 centre-halves. And Inter Milan play with 3 centre-halves in their starting lineup as well. I need new defenders, and particularly at centre-half as well. So heading into the January window, this guy was my number 1 target. I said with Inter Milan, unlike with Man City, I'm not going to do the same sort of rebuild. Or at the Etihad Stadium, we bought back almost every single player. With Inter Milan, it'll be different. Yes, I'll probably look to bring back Barella and Bustonia as well, but I also want young talent for the rebuild, and this guy was my number 1 target. A new gen, currently playing for Fulham in the Premier League, 20 years old, 83 rated, Alessandro Gasparoni. He's currently right now looking like one of the best young defenders in world football. 83 rated. 5-star weak foot, quick, strong, and 6'2". This guy looks unbelievable. So yeah, I'm going to get a defensive work rate up from medium to high, but already at 20 with those defensive stats, and 92 for both strength and jumping as well. He's not a slow lad either. This guy could become one of the best centre-backs in world football. Right now, maybe not. But in the future, absolutely. We only had 3 centre-halves here, so I need at least 2 or 3 new ones, especially after selling Felipe as well. My next target, this guy. Again, I want the young talent. I want the rebuild. We got the money to bring in someone like Mathijs to Ligt, but no, man, I want the rebuild. I want the young talent. Yes, I look to bring in 1 or 2 stars, but I gotta get the young talent, and I want some young Italian talent as well. Riccardo Santoro at Jose Mourinho's AS Roma, not being used by the Portuguese manager, but one of the best young defenders in world football, just 18 years old. We paid 41 mil for Gasparoni. We're going to spend 40 mil on Riccardo, but at 18 years old, 81 rated. We got two of the best young defenders in European football, and they're both Italian, and now at the San Siro as well. They've both got the exciting prospect tag. Santoro's got high work rates, which I really like, and he's got a 6'3" frame with 92 strength as well. He's 18. This guy lives in the gym. He is a gym rat, and I love to see it. High work rate, 6'3", and whilst you look at the team here and see, he's not on the level of Ginter or Torres right now. I'm starting him. I'm starting him in this team. He's 12 years younger than Ginter. Whilst he's worse than a German right now, I'm starting him. Like I said, with Inter Milan, it's a rebuild. We're preferring young talent and building for the future. We're selling those old players. We're culling this squad. And we're bringing in the young reinforcements for the future to develop. Santoro and Gasparoni, two young Italian defenders now in our back line. You love to see it. So following signings, a new wing back. You see only two wing backs here. One is DeMarco and one is Dumfries as well. We haven't got any backup wing backs here with Inter Milan. We need to get a little bit more depth in the wing back role as well as at centre half as well. So at left wing back, he's just signed for Spurs actually. And if he's good enough for Antonio Conte, he's good enough for me as well. Destiny Udogi still at Hellas Verona in the game, but this guy is really good, man. He's very quick. He works extremely hard. He's an Antonio Conte style of player, man. No doubt about it. One of those, wide players that's good when going forward, good at the back as well, and runs all game long. That is Antonio Conte's side in a nutshell. He's got that with Perisic, and now Udogi's going to learn underneath him. That's what's going to happen here underneath DeMarco. Udogi's going to be our backup left wing back here for Federico DeMarco on the left-hand side. I did see this as well. Oh my goodness. Gigi Buffon is still in the game. I was looking for a new goalkeeper for the future. Buffon is 46 years old. I mean, I'm not looking for a goalkeeper in the past, but in the future. Gigi's still at Parma, his boyhood club. That's crazy, man. Now, we had a bit for Moise Kean, £100 million from Bayern, and of course, I turned it down. Bayern is struggling, by the way, mightily. 9th place in the Bundesliga right now. Bizarre. Only 5 wins in 17 games, and well off the pace. So Bayern are faltering in the Bundesliga, which gives the teams around them a chance to win the first title in years. One of those teams going for the title in Germany is Britia Dortmund. They want to strengthen their back line. They put in a bid for Pau Torres, and for realism, I was okay letting him go. Dortmund are going for the Bundesliga title right now. We're going to be lucky to make the top 4 at this current pace. So Torres wants to be in a guaranteed Champions League team. He'll be one of the highest rated and best centre-backs in the world. At 88 rated, 27 years old. I said, pal, fair enough. We get the right deal, I'll let you go. And we agreed. I think it was a £40 million deal plus Mikkel Damsgaard. He was agreed in the swap deal, and I rarely ever take a player offered to me from a club when they're putting in a bid for one of my players and include one of their own. I rarely ever accept it and say, I just want the cash, I just want the money. But instead, I looked at Damsgaard and I thought, that could be quite realistic, Now, the Danish playmaker has obviously now gone to Brentford in real life to play under Thomas Franke, but currently at Dortmund in the game, he's not getting used there under Dortmund. And as you can see, for them, they've got the worst defensive record in the top 4. They want to bolster their back line. That's why they've opted to sign Pau Torres. I'm okay letting the former Villarreal guy go to Borussia Dortmund there, as he can make a step up in terms of the form of both teams right now. Dortmund at the moment are better than us on current paper, so I'm okay letting him go there. And Damsgaard coming to us, I quite like that. He spent a few good years at Sampdoria, so he knows the Serie A. I quite like that, and he could definitely be the guy that fills in for Mason Mount whilst he's down with the ACL. I think that Damsgaard would do very well in this team through the middle, as opposed to out on the flank, as you don't play with wide midfielders or wingers. So for the only game of today's episode, first game of January, Spezia at the San Siro. I'm not going to lie, man, I was nervous. I've sold 8 players here with Inter Milan since coming in. I'm starting to gut the side out, cull and start a rebuild. If I couldn't beat Spezia at home, there's absolutely no way we're going to hit our objectives of winning a domestic double and reaching the final Champions League. No way could we do that if we couldn't beat Spezia at home. So heading into the game, first half was poor. I was nervy. I wasn't playing well. But in the second half, well, I turned down the bid from Bayern Munich because I need him. He's our star in this team. I think he'll be my main man for Inter. He scored goals 10 and 11 in the Serie A this season in what was a 2-0 victory. Moyes, bag and a brace. What a ball this was, by the way, by Mathijs Nunes. Absolutely glorious. And Keane gives us the 2-goal victory. First game of the rebuild era with Inter Milan. A 2-0 win against Spezia at the San Siro. That ends our loss streak after 3 on the bounce in all competitions. But let's be totally honest here, Spezia at home. We couldn't beat these guys. We wouldn't deserve to be in the top 4 for next season. 2-0 the final score. We're going to face much tougher opponents than that. I'm glad to get a win. I'm glad Gasparoni and Santoro, our 2 youngsters in the back line, held their nerve and kept a clean sheet on their debuts as well. But this is a rebuild. I can't see us winning 10 straight and getting back into the title race straight away. But as Torres goes to Dortmund for £45 million, he's off to the Bundesliga to help them win a title with Bayern Munich faltering. Damsgaard comes to us as he goes the other way. And I definitely think with the 4-star skill moves, he's really quick, but a great dribbler of the ball with high-low work rates. I definitely think he's got some good passing stats. They're not bad at all. Decent vision as well. He's got a lot of stamina as well. I think he'd do really well as an attacking midfielder in this team and replace Thomas Muller for now whilst Mason Mount is in the treatment room with the ACL. So Damsgaard comes in, Torres goes to Borussia Dortmund, and I simply had to do it. I said we want to rebuild this Inter Milan side. We want to look for young talents, but I'm not adverse to bringing back 1 or 2 Inter Milan stars. Well, CB has been our weakest area since we've come in. It's been the area with the least amount of depth. He's currently got 1.5 years left on his deal at Old Trafford. Manchester United want to cash him because they might lose him for free. When that happens, as you know, you can get those players for under the valuation. And for Bustonia, I said, come back to Inter Milan. Join the rebuild project. I promise you, in the first season, it'll be a struggle. But long term, we can get Inter Milan back to the top. We agreed a £77 million deal with the Red Devils. He is coming back to the San Siro, 88 rated, 25 years old, and I had to give him a pay increase as well. I don't know why the agents often ask for a wage decrease if it's a player that's in like the prime of his career. I could understand if they're old and seniors, but when they're in their prime and getting a big move, really? But even so, 200 grand a week deal, 5-year contract. Alessandro Bustonia is in. Like I said, I do want to sign a couple of the old Inter players that have left, such as Barella and Bustonia coming in as well. But unlike with Man City, I promise I won't do it like we did at the Etihad Stadium. It was fun bringing back the Gundogans and the Stones and everyone else that had left. But I promise with Inter, I'll only bring back 2 or 3. For the most part, I want to rebuild my own team. But Bustonia was always going to come back. 25 years old, 88 rated. He should never have left, and he's now back in the heart of our defence. Torres gone, Bustonia back, and to lead the 2 young Italians there, Gasparoni and Santoro. I love that. I really, really do, learning under Alessandro Bustonia. So that will do it for the first part of the rebuild in this January window. As you can see, Handanovic should submitting that transfer request. He's only got 6 months left on his deal, so for realism, because he's still there in real life right now, I'll keep him and then let him go come the end of the season. So I think I will keep Handanovic until the end of the campaign and then let him go on a free for realism. But as you look at the side here, as you can see, we've got a totally new back three with Santoro and Gasparoni, the young Italian talents, and Bustonia coming back to the San Siro. Damsgaard will be playing through the middle, and on the bench, Destiny Udogie is in to provide cover for DeMarco. This is going to be a long project with Inter Milan as we rebuild this side, and right now, 1 game to the halfway point, 8th place and 8 points behind our rivals AC Milan. No doubt about it, this is going to be a tough one with Inter, but I'm looking forward to this rebuild. We're way off the pace to start off with. We've got to recover ASAP. And with 3 weeks to go in the transfer window and over 100 million still left, the rebuild is far from finished. More signings still to come. But that will end today's episode of the Realist Summer Criminal, guys. Big thank you for watching. Really hope you have enjoyed it. If you haven't, please drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for next episode of the Summer Career Mode, where the rebuild will continue at the San Siro very soon.